In the following footage, a YouTuber named MacLeod was home alone when he captured one of the most unsettling paranormal encounters ever documented on his channel. Known for recording eerie phenomena, MacLeod had experienced his fair share of strange events. However, none of the spirits he had interacted with were as aggressive as the one in this video. The clip was uploaded over a decade ago, and to this day, MacLeod claims the memory still haunts his dreams.
Right, don't say that's all. Are we tired? Can't do any more. Ooh. Yeah, but can you pick me up and throw me across the room? I'm in the corner. That's very impressive. Show me something else. Oh, am I zoomed in? It stopped. Stopped. Oh, it hasn't stopped.
This particular haunting stood out because most spirits tend to act subtly, making it hard to detect their presence. But in this case, the ghost was anything but subtle, putting MacLeod at real risk with the objects it hurled across the room. Thankfully, he escaped unscathed. While most people would consider moving out after an incident like this, MacLeod stayed. His career revolved around documenting paranormal activity, and having a ghost in his home, oddly enough, became part of his work. Just 24 hours later, the same spirit decided to make its presence known again.
Right, crazy noises coming from the cutlery drawer. Oh. Right, okay, well, that was a glass. Thank you, I think. At least it didn't break. Thank you for that too, but can you do something on camera, please? Throw something small and cheap. Come on, do something, please. Thank you. Something over here. Oh, it was this lid. Just flip the lid over. Yes, I know what it's like to flip your lid. You make me flip my lid. I hope I got that on camera. Come on, do something else. Was this open? No, I don't know, but... Open these doors I'm closing.
This time, the activity was less destructive but still unsettling. The ghost flipped the lid of a pan, showcasing its power in a menacing yet controlled manner. Despite the unnerving nature of the event, MacLeod remained calm, refusing to feed the entity his fear. This was the final encounter he documented with this particular spirit, and his composure likely played a role in deterring further activity. While MacLeod showed courage and experience in dealing with ghosts, the next clip features someone who had quite the opposite reaction. On November 30th, 2007, an elderly man living alone experienced a terrifying event that left him completely frozen in fear. After what happened, it was clear that he wasn't as alone as he thought. Let's take a look. The doorknob began rattling violently, an occurrence that defies explanation. Moments later, the door started swinging open and shut, as if an unseen force was manipulating it. For a while after this incident, the old man didn't report any further activity, and his family dismissed his story, believing he was imagining things. That is, until the paranormal made another appearance, this time with witnesses. Shockingly, a cereal bowl was flung across the table, prompting the man to flee the house as fast as he could. In his panic, he pulled a muscle while escaping and fell shortly after the video ended, though he wasn't seriously hurt. His family, hearing the commotion, rushed to check on him, but still didn't believe his claims. Unfortunately, the man wasn't tech-savvy and couldn't immediately show them the proof he'd recorded. He was moved to a care home a month later, and it wasn't until then that his daughter found the videos stored on his phone, confirming his chilling encounters. The next video is one of the most unsettling on the channel because it involves a young child. A little girl had just returned home from school, holding her lunchbox in one hand and some cat food in the other as she prepared to feed her pet. But something unexpected and deeply disturbing interrupted her. If you listen closely, just before the ghost snatches the lunchbox out of her hands, you can hear it whisper yes in response to her refusal to give up the items. Strangely, the girl didn't seem bothered by the spirit's actions and calmly walked back to the living room. Her unshaken demeanor is rare in such situations. Interestingly, her family reported no further paranormal activity after this event, which may be attributed to their strong religious beliefs. As mentioned in many of my previous paranormal compilations, dolls are often considered prime targets for possession by spirits. Their humanoid form makes them ideal vessels for entities seeking a physical connection to the living world. The next video features CCTV footage captured early one morning last year. The surveillance camera, equipped with a motion detection feature, followed any movement in the room before returning to its default position. This function led to the capture of something truly disturbing in a basement. In the eerie footage, the doll appears to move on its own in a room devoid of any human presence. Such an event can't be easily explained away, and strongly points to the presence of a ghost. Overwhelmed by fear, the homeowner, David, locked the basement door and warned his children that a terrifying monster resided inside to keep them from going near it. To this day, the basement remains sealed and the family is actively looking for a new place to live. The Biltmore Hotel in Providence had never been associated with any kind of paranormal activity, at least not until the video you're about to watch surfaced online. A small YouTuber named Jack Stevens uploaded the footage, hoping to find out if others had experienced anything unusual at the historic hotel. To his surprise, many people shared their strange encounters, though none were as eerie as what Jack captured himself.
Okay, making a video. I'm here at the Providence Biltmore Hotel. I'm in room 1102. I'm making this video because it's like 2 in the morning right now. I've just been sitting here watching TV. And the door to my bathroom in this room has slammed 2 or 3 times in the last half an hour. So I don't know why it's doing that, but no one's going to believe me if I don't get it on video, so I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try to catch this happening on video. The last time it happened was like about 6 or 7 minutes ago, and it's happening every 6 or 7 minutes, so I'm hoping to catch it again right now. Okay, let's check it out. Alright, you can see that the bathroom is down there at the end of the hallway. The bathroom door is the one that has been slamming itself by apparently unseen forces. I'm going to stand here for a couple minutes. If it happens again, then I'm going to catch it on video. If it doesn't happen again, then I'm going to set my camera down and try to just let it sit there and wait and catch it when it happens.
The door repeatedly slammed shut on its own, seemingly with no cause. After dealing with this bizarre phenomenon for some time, Jack managed to catch it on camera. However, skeptics quickly suggested it could have been staged, perhaps with someone hiding behind the door. Determined to prove them wrong, Jack thoroughly inspected the bathroom.
See that? It just did it again. I cannot believe I got that on video. I cannot believe I got that. There is nobody in this room except for me. That is the freakiest thing ever. There's nobody back here, right? Alright, this video is going up on YouTube. Hopefully we can get some comments to figure out if anyone else has had any experience like this at the Biltmore in Providence.
As the footage shows, nothing was there. The next story features a Mexican ghost hunter named Pablo, who was hired to investigate the deep cellars of a house that had been rumored to be haunted for years. The homeowners, too afraid to explore the area themselves, called on Pablo to do the job. It was 6 p.m. when Pablo arrived, but with no natural light reaching the cellars, the space had an eerie ambiance that felt more like dawn. Undeterred, Pablo set out to uncover the truth, expecting to catch yet another ghost on camera and earn some extra cash in the process.
Son las 3 de la mañana y escucho algo. Creo que fue la cocina. ¿Quién es? Creo que en el baño. Ay, Diosito, por favor.
While other unsettling events led up to this moment, the sight of the shower turning itself on remains inexplicable. Pablo had made sure that no one else was in the room, making this occurrence even more baffling. Despite his years of experience, this incident visibly rattled him, though he had no idea what was still to come. Strangely, the previous homeowners had constructed a bedroom in the cellar. No one knows why. It could have been a guest room or a solution for an overcrowded household. Regardless of its purpose, the room was the site of one of the creepiest apparitions ever caught on film.
Algo está sonando en el cuarto. Creo que es el eco.
Although no figure was visible on the bed, when Pablo crouched down to look underneath it, he caught a glimpse of what appeared to be a young girl's legs, walking from one side to the other. The identity of this child remains unknown, as does the room's true purpose. After witnessing this chilling scene, Pablo immediately ended his investigation and presented his findings to the homeowner. The evidence was enough for the owner to lock the cellar entrance, warning his children to stay away, and he expressed plans to take further steps to rid the house of its ghostly inhabitant. James MacLeod had been living in his home for over a decade without experiencing anything out of the ordinary. His neighbourhood was peaceful, his house unremarkable, an ideal place to live. But all of that changed on the night captured in this next video. At 4:26 a.m, James began recording the bizarre activity that had been occurring since 11 p.m. Loud bangs echoed through the house, and appliances turned on and off seemingly at random. Ruling out a power issue, James decided to investigate the source of the disturbances. What he found was like something out of a nightmare.
Okay, I've been hearing shit all night. See?
Hello? Jesus Christ! Ah! Oh!
As James reached the bottom of the stairs, his record player suddenly began spinning and playing music, an occurrence straight out of a horror movie. Rather than retreating, James attempted to communicate with whatever was causing the chaos, a decision that turned out to be a huge mistake. As soon as he spoke, objects around him began falling over, forcing him to flee back upstairs. To this day, James has no explanation for what happened that night, Fortunately, the activity hasn't repeated itself in the 2 years since, and James continues to live in the house. While he hasn't experienced anything else, the events of that night remain a mystery. The final story takes us back nearly a century to a house that harboured a gruesome secret. A group of cannibals once hid in the home, evading the police while turning on one another for survival. Over time, they consumed each other one by one, but their desperate strategy ultimately failed. Ever since their grisly demise, the house has been rumoured to be haunted. Unsurprisingly, few people have been willing to live there. Eventually, a desperate couple purchased the property and tried to cleanse it using a Ouija board, asking the spirits to leave. The response they received was terrifying, and instead of resolving the situation, it made things worse. The disturbances escalated to the point where the couple felt compelled to call the police. What happens in the upcoming clip takes place after law enforcement arrived and is nothing short of chilling.
Woman used Ouija board in old house where cannibals lived, somewhere in Greater Poland. Police were called in response to her strange behavior.
Jezu, jak to Oda tak warczy? Ja pierdzielę. No, totalnie.
Pierdolę, ja dostaję tylko 50 zł, kurwa, tam. Idź tam,
Uważaj.
Tanica! Kamila!
Ona jest nad nami u góry, od góry coś...
Znamiona byśmy się zrobili pozycjami, mógłbyśmy tam dać. Odsuń się i
Nie?
uważaj. Do umerz, kurwa, to stanie.
Drut ma jakiś...
Nie, niech pan wyjdzie i poprosimy go wychodzić.
Unlike typical ghostly encounters that involve objects being moved or displaced, this spirit relied on aggressive, animalistic sounds to intimidate those present. It growled ferociously, resembling a predator warding off its prey. The noises were so lifelike that one of the officers, startled, fired a shot into the room. After thoroughly searching the space and finding nothing, the police concluded that the events were paranormal in nature and left, unable to provide further assistance. It remains unclear what the couple did afterward, but moving out would have been the wisest course of action. Given the home's bloody history and terrifying hauntings, staying there would have been a gamble no one should take.